Someone once said that she had champagne tastes and a beer body. This was later, of course. She was older and thicker, and well, all she had going for her was that overripe sex appeal. But when she was younger, no one had ever said, "You're going to college, you're going to have a career." All they talked about is meeting a prince. Someday your prince will come. Prince Charming will come and sweep you off your feet. And she had worked since she was 11 years old. She had babysat, and she had been a waitress at the BB Dairy after school, and she got a job at the mall through high school. And when she graduated, no one said, well, go to a trade school, go to night school, learn something, go to college. You could have your own career and take care of yourself and do whatever you want. Because all that time she'd been spending that money she had earned on makeup and lipstick and nylons and tight skirts and tight blouses and looking good. And if someone didn't come into the store and chat her up and ask her for her phone number, well, she was at the bar after work and someone would come over and say, "Hey honey, can I buy you a drink?" And then she was older and guys weren't stopping her quite as much, and it was later in the evening when someone would come over to her in the bar. And she'd decide she'd get ready to go out. And she wasn't as small and petite and cute as she had been, and there was a lot more competition, a lot younger. It seemed like all these good-looking young girls had moved to town or something. And she'd have to think about what she'd wear, and she'd have to put on those doomy shoes with the high heels and a tight come-get-me blouse, and think, what can I do with my hair to make me stand out, before she went out to the bar. And then she had that boyfriend who said, yo baby, and swept her off her feet. But then he said, yo baby, let me keep my stuff at your place. The cops, I think, are watching me, but nobody will suspect anything's at your place. And then the police came bursting in through the door at 3 a.m. one morning. And then she was behind the coiled razor wire at MCI Framingham. No makeup, no fancy clothes, just blue scrubs with DOC, Department of Correction, on the back. And the highlight of her week was, if no one came to visit her, which was maybe once a month, no one came to visit her, the highlight of her week was going to the chapel. And maybe there was a good priest that week at the services who didn't talk down to the women but related to them and had something interesting to say, or maybe some volunteers came. And then finally, she was out of prison, and she meant to go to her girlfriend's in Fall River because she didn't have her apartment anymore and she didn't have her job anymore. But she'd been locked away so long, she just wanted some freedom, and so she went to a diner and had something to eat and just picked what she wanted off the menu with that little money she had. She had bought some lipstick and some mascara, and she went into the women's room of the diner, and quickly she did something with her hair and put on some lipstick and makeup and tried to make herself look as good as she could. And instead of thinking about, I'm going to start a new life, I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to be able to have my own place and buy my own records and not depend on a boyfriend to give me his old stereo and his old records and his old TV that he doesn't need anymore. I'm going to get my own stuff. She saw the bar across the street, and not thinking about all those times that she'd gone into a bar before with her hair teased up and thinking, will Prince Charming be here tonight? Instead of just all the regular losers, is Prince Charming going to be here at Flanagan's Bar and Grill? Is the prince going to come to the big dance at the Legion Hall? She went into the bar. And somebody came over and said, hey honey, can I buy you a drink? And she'd been in prison for a while, so when he said, you want to come over to my place? She went right along with him. But then it was, honey, get up. It was 6 in the morning. And it was like, she didn't know where she was, and the strange man was saying, honey, I've got to get up and go to work. Come on, you've got to get out of here. And it was 6:17 and she was out on the street, and she didn't have her real face on, and she didn't have her hair made up, and she was in the financial district in downtown Boston, standing on a corner. And she looked in her pocket. All that money, she had spent it. And how was she going to get anywhere? And there she was standing on a corner in the Boston, seeing the people, the men in their suits, coming into work downtown, and going up to them and said, "Mister, can you lend me $1? I got to get to Fall River. Can you lend me $3? And each man she went up to had a kind face, and she was thinking, he could be my prince. He could be my prince if I met him at the right time. If I was all dolled up and I looked myself. But it's 7 a.m. in the morning and I'm asking him for $3 to get to Fall River. He could have been my prince."